I am making a very short video tutorial at the request of one of my friends as they are trying to paint a sort of painterly style thing. So I'm just going to be talking about what I did for this particular digital painting that I did. So normally I would start out with lines all done because I really prefer lines over painting. This one I actually didn't use lines and just kind of painted them as I went and then painted over them. So some of this may not be applicable, but if you're more comfortable with line art, start with that because it does make it a lot easier to have your lines on a separate layer, and you can just kind of make them less opaque as needed, or more opaque. So normally what I'll start by doing is blocking out big chunks of color using a larger brush. You really don't need to worry about the details at the beginning. I know that that is really hard if you're typically a detail-oriented person, and I think with line art you kind of have to be aware of all the details at all times, especially if you do it on paper, because it's really hard to go back and fix stuff with a pen. So I usually get transfixed by little stuff way too early on and then have to go back and make my brush bigger a bunch of times. It does make it easier to have your background some color that is not white. In this case, I was using a reference picture that I wanted to copy pretty directly, but very often I'll have pictures that are just random, color references or the particular quality of light that I wanted to emulate. So, you just kind of keep skipping around every time that you see your brain go, oh, that's not right. Just let yourself go over there and fix it. Um, I do recommend zooming out and back in a lot. I don't really know if Clip Studio picks up on that in the time-lapse stuff, but looking at your painting from a different scale or flipping it on the horizontal axis, that can really help to make it more obvious where things are that you need to fix as far as anatomy and proportion. Um, Typically with the lighting, I like to, not for this one because I'm going directly from a reference that I'm trying to copy, but normally I will do either a cooler or a lighter, or sorry, cooler or warmer tone for the shadows, and then the opposite of that, a warmer or a cooler tone for the highlights. But then just go smaller and smaller with your brushes once you're more comfortable with the general shape, and just keep refining it and paint over stuff when you need to paint over stuff. Good luck!